Well, the marathon was a highly photographed event, and the authorities continue to pore over every image. But they're not alone. Online, self-deputized amateurs are doing the same thing, hoping to find something the investigators have missed. As Chris Brown found out, there's a real risk in crowdsourcing an investigation.
It seemed within minutes of the Boston bombs exploding, social media rushed in to solve the crime. Never mind that possibly every police officer in Boston and beyond is on the case. It's a life cycle of tragedies these days, says this social media watcher.
With social media, we can have the illusion of instantly finding a solution, instantly going after that perpetrator. And unfortunately, there's a pretty heavy cost to taking the law into our own hands. Things get pretty scary when citizens start going after other citizens.
On Reddit, a widely used online bulletin board, discussion groups posted photos and fingered individuals, clearly showing their faces. This guy running away looks super suspicious to many. Same with this man in a blue coat. His backpack and another guy's seem to match with the photos released by police, which they believe contained the bombs. He also stood out to me because of his look, was one comment. He fits the profile of the kind of person who did this. Not lost on anyone reading was that the man had dark skin.
I don't think we want to live in a society where people are, rounding one another up on social media and where you're afraid to set foot in public with a hood on.
But journalism professor ALFRED HERMIDA says don't blame social media for vigilantism.
The truth isn't in the individual fragment. It's in the overall discussion of all these conversations.
Too often, he says it's the mainstream media that takes online comments and amplifies them, distorting their importance. What's online, he says, is simply raw, unfiltered information.
This is the process of journalism, the process of investigation happening before our eyes.
Indeed, perhaps the worst case of misidentification didn't come from social media at all. The New York Post led the charge against a Saudi man who, it turns out, was completely innocent. Of course, Vancouver saw an awful lot of the same kind of online outing after the Stanley Cup riot. Indeed, the frenzy may actually have prompted a lot of people to turn themselves in before the online community did. Peter.
All right, Chris Brown in Vancouver.